Gorongosa is not merely a land restored to life. It is a living arena where survival rules every breath under nature's unforgiving laws. After years of destruction, the ecosystem surged back with remarkable force. Grasslands reclaimed, the soil rivers found their ancient paths, and wildlife returned in overwhelming numbers. Yet this revival carried a harsh truth. With renewal came an endless struggle for food space and the simple chance to remain alive. In Gorongosa, beauty can be deceptive. Calm horizons and golden sunrises mask silent pursuits. Sudden clashes and life-or-death choices made in the blink of an eye. What appears to be paradise is in reality a place where every step carries risk, and every sound may signal the final warning. The land lives and breathes, but within each breath lingers the presence of danger. In this reborn wilderness, nothing is promised. Predators endure hunger and exhaustion, while prey learn to adapt, fleeing when possible, resisting when escape is no longer an option. Gorongosa stands as a powerful reminder that the stronger life returns, the more intense the fight becomes to preserve it. Beneath Africa's untamed sky, every creature must pay a price to continue its existence. In the untamed heart of Mozambique, Gorongosa National Park shelters one of Africa's rarest predators, the African wild dog. Its coat splashed with black, yellow, brown, and white looks as if nature painted each one by hand. No two are ever the same. Every pattern is unique, a natural signature of identity and beauty. These hunters are a symbol of unity and collective intelligence. Alone, they would not survive. Together, they thrive through flawless cooperation. They are living architects of the African wilderness, and their greatest achievement is endurance itself. This is the wild dog of Gorongosa, rare, threatened, yet resilient. A beating heart of the savannah. Dawn awakens the plains of Gorongosa. Soft golden light cuts through the mist and settles on the lingering dew. From the shadows, African wild dogs emerge, ears, tall eyes sharp, moving forward in near silence with perfect synchronization. In the distance, a group of impalas grazes calmly, unaware that danger is closing in. The pack pauses. They watch. They measure distance and direction. Every detail is decided before the chase begins. Suddenly, the stillness shatters. Bodies surge forward at breathtaking speed. The pack splits in an instant, sealing off escape routes from both sides to encircle their target. But speed alone does not define these hunters. Their true weapon is endurance. They run relentlessly, draining their prey with each passing second. A young impala stumbles, loses rhythm, and falls behind, cut off from the safety of the herd. The air fills with harsh sounds. Life is surrendered to the unforgiving cost of survival. The scene does not go unnoticed. The struggle draws the attention of a far more powerful rival. A lioness approaches, summoned by chaos, her stride confident, her gaze burning with unquestioned authority. She pauses briefly, assessing the situation. The wild dogs, consumed by feeding, have not yet sensed her presence. Then heads lift, muzzles stained red, eyes lock with the embodiment of dominance. Without warning, the lioness charges straight into the heart of the pack. Order collapses, strategy dissolves. Each dog scatters in a different direction. They understand the truth of the savannah. Against a lion, there is no victory, only escape. With a roar that seems to shake the ground, the lioness claims the kill amid clouds of dust. Power shifts hands. Soon other lions arrive to share the stolen prize, unces. For wild dogs, every hunt is a gamble, success or loss, nourishment or hunger. For lions, dominance is never questioned. The savannah bends to their strength and relentless appetite. This is the balance of the wild. Beauty exists alongside brutality. Life is written in endurance and blood. The plains of Gorongosa remind us that nature does not reward fairness, only persistence. This is Africa's order. The powerful rule, the clever endure, and the cycle never pauses. Stripped of their meal, the wild dogs do not surrender. Hunger drives them onward. In this harsh world, failure is common, but survival leaves no room for rest or regret. Not far away, a massive herd of buffalo grazes in apparent calm, unaware of nearby predators. These towering animals, armed with curved horns like hardened spears, possess a strength even top carnivores respect. Yet the wild dogs show no fear. Their hunting style is a dangerous blend of boldness and precision. In a heartbeat, they surge forward like a storm, hooves and paws, kicking up clouds of dust. Amid the turmoil, weakness appears. A calf falters, unable to match the herd's pace. The pack descends upon it, overwhelming its fragile defenses. Then from the distance, a roar splits the air. A mother's call, raw, powerful, driven by instinct older than reason. Her purpose is absolute, to tear her calf from the edge of death. But the dogs are many and they move with lethal coordination. In seconds, they divide into two units, one tightening around the calf, the other blocking the mother's advance, cutting off her path. Time stretches unbearably. The calf's cries echo across the plain like a final plea. At last, eyes burning with anguish, the mother is forced to retreat to avoid being separated from the herd, leaving the savannah once more to its unyielding laws. Behind her, the calf collapses. Exhausted and defenseless, it succumbs to relentless, razor-sharp teeth. The air fills with chilling sounds as flesh is torn apart. A victory soaked in blood. This is the truth of Africa, where triumph and tragedy walk side by side on nature's endless stage. Once again, dawn spreads slowly across Gorongosa. A pale light glides over grasslands still wrapped in cold mist. Beneath thorny bushes, a hidden den shelters one of the continent's most remarkable predators. The African wild dog. Inside the pack stirs awake bodies, stretching yawns echoing through the damp morning air. Bright-eyed pups rush toward their mother, squealing as they seek the warmth of her belly. They jostle for milk, tiny bodies trembling with hunger and restless energy. Their innocent voices fill the den, a fleeting moment of tenderness in a ruthless world. Soon the mother pulls away, leaving her young behind as she prepares to face the harsh demands of the day. One by one, the adults gather, ears upright, tails, rigid minds aligned for the hunt. Their target is close. Warthogs root through the soil, tirelessly searching for roots and tubers. In an instant, the pack surges forward, a wave of speed and precision sweeping across the savannah. The ground quakes beneath pounding hooves as the warthogs race toward the maze of their burrows. Dust swallows the scene. Dark bodies collide and shove as chaos erupts. A warthog thrashes violently, tusks slicing the air, but relentless bites drain its strength. A storm of teeth rips through flesh. Blood stains the dry grass. The morning fills with the raw sounds of survival. After feeding, the dogs remember their duty. Heads lowered, they grip chunks of meat firmly and turn back toward the den. There the pups wait, tails wagging, ears alert, listening for every familiar sound. When the pack appears, excitement explodes. Small bodies leap and race forward in uncontrollable joy. The mother sets the food down and allows the eager mouths to feed with youthful enthusiasm. The moment reveals Gorongosa's deepest contrast: ruthless hunters on the open plains, yet devoted caretakers within the shelter of the den. On this African savanna, wild dogs prove that survival demands not only ferocity but unity as well. Dawn stirs the plains of Gorongosa once more. Sunlight flashes across the rippling surface of the river, turning it into a living mirror. The air is cool and heavy with moisture while birdsong fills the landscape, announcing the start of another day shaped by the struggle to survive. For decades, war and poaching erased what once thundered across this land. Where vast herds had roamed, silence took hold. Slowly, life returned. Herbivores came first, followed by predators, and with time, balance began to rebuild itself. Along the riverbank, massive gatherings of animals now assemble. Zebras and wildebeest cluster tightly near the water's edge. Beyond them stretches a sea of green grass, endless and inviting, promising abundance if they can survive the crossing. Yet beneath the calm surface, danger waits. Giant crocodiles lie motionless, mistaken for drifting logs. Patience is their greatest weapon. Within that stillness rests lethal power, ready to explode at the perfect moment. A low tension ripples through the herd. The ground vibrates, hooves strike the earth as the wildebeest move forward. The crossing begins. The river erupts into chaos. Hundreds of bodies leap, splash, and swim against the current, driven by urgency and instinct. The water awakens. Dark shapes surge to life. Golden eyes cut through the murk. Jaws open as ancient predators rise from their silent ambush. With explosive thrusts of their tails, the crocodiles charge at terrifying speed. The crowd is so dense that no choice is needed. Every second brings another target. A zebra stumbles, barely lifting its head before powerful jaws clamp down, dragging it into the turmoil. A wildebeest is seized, its desperate cries echoing as teeth sink into its thrashing body. The river turns red, churning with violence. What unfolds is an ancient ritual of death. Crocodiles twist and spin with savage force, tearing flesh and pulling prey into bloody whirlpools. Cries merge with the roar of water, forming a raw symphony of the cost of life. For the crocodiles, this is long-awaited reward earned after months of hunger and unbroken patience. But not all are taken. Many endure. Eyes burning with the will to live, zebras and wildebeest press forward together, pushing through fear with sheer determination. At last, survivors reach the far bank. For a moment, stillness returns. Heads lower to graze, alert yet seemingly at peace. Briefly, survival tastes like victory. Grass bends beneath grateful mouths. But the river's lesson is never forgotten, etched deep into muscle and memory. This is the law of Gorongosa: life can only flourish where death has first claimed its due. Dawn glides across Gorongosa. Sunlight slips through dew-soaked grasses, waking the savannah with a slow, steady breath. Mist lingers close to the ground as if the earth itself exhales in silence. Every blade of grass glimmers, signaling a calm beginning and the restrained pulse of life returning to motion. A pride of lions lies at rest, bodies rising and falling with measured breaths as constant as the morning light. Shared warmth settles into golden fur, easing the chill of night and strengthening bonds woven through familiar scents and unspoken closeness. Two lions rise and approach one another with quiet restraint. There is no urgency, only a silent exchange of posture, pauses, and understood boundaries. She moves first, shoulders rolling softly, tail tracing questions in the clear air. Reading his presence the way one reads the wind. He answers without force, lowering his head in respect, allowing strength to exist within calm. Their steps overlap on damp grass, curved tracks gleam briefly then fade as warmth claims the morning. It is a courtship without haste, guided by scent, balance, and ties as old as the land itself. She brushes his side gently, a small gesture woven into an ancient rhythm, simple, essential. He releases a deep rumble felt more than heard, a vibration shaped by seasons passing. Around them, the pride remains at ease. Trust spreads like sunlight, undisturbed by a ritual known and accepted. Slowly turning, they trade glances, ear tilts, tail movements. Everything aligns, shared intent, quiet agreement. Here instinct meets choice. Continuity is decided without words. Life chooses to go on. The moment is brief and unadorned, repeated through generations, etched into muscle and memory. When they part, they remain close, sharing breath and stillness, steady as hills beneath a forgiving sky. The sun climbs, gilding whiskers in gold. Suspended dust becomes light. Morning reveals unseen promises stitched into the hours ahead. Between heartbeats, tradition becomes future, carried in cells, in breaths, in gestures passed on without effort. As the sun continues its rise, insects tune a livelier rhythm and grasses answer with flashes of green. On the open plain, the scene becomes a lesson, tenderness with purpose, strength guided by respect, patience stretching well beyond midday. In the distance, two towering giraffes move slowly, their silhouettes swaying like masts across the brightening grassland. Each step is deliberate. Hooves tap softly while long necks draw elegant arcs against the pale morning sky. As they near the lions, the pride only watches. Calm, unthreatened, they measure every movement without haste. The giraffes halt together, legs spread wide, turning to face one another. Eyes gleam, muscles tighten with learned intent. The contest begins. Long necks swing like hammers. The impacts land deep in hollow bone against bone. The air shudders. Dust lifts in slow spirals. Beneath the shade, the lions remain still. Ears twitch, tails trace a patient beat. They witness a ritual older than storms. The dominant male exhales a low breath, authority relaxed, acknowledging a struggle that is not his. Another strike ripples through the air, the shock traveling across broad shoulders and chests. Balance is recalculated in fractions of a second. Necks cross like blades, then separate again. The rhythm is steady, competitive, strangely graceful despite its force. Sunlight flashes on ossicones like fleeting crowns, while hooves carve grooves that mark an improvised arena. The giraffes reposition, breathing hard. A faint steam rises from heated muscles as they slip back into shadow. Not far away, cool gazes fix upon them. Within the tall grass, lion shapes begin to advance, flowing like ships through a green sea. Each step carries a silent promise of restrained violence. The lions sink lower, bodies merge with the earth, muscles tremble, packed with stored power. Eyes lock onto the tallest male, strong yet exposed. Time stretches. Heartbeats thud in the still air. A fragile calm just before release. Then the pride explodes forward. A burst of golden fury erupts from the grass. The ground shivers, dust blooms, every stride is set for impact. The giraffe lowers its body, neck arching to gather force. It does not flee, it meets the charge. Hooves strike the earth like pistons, a warning written in bone. The ground erupts beneath them. The lioness drops low, aiming for the tendons. The giraffe answers with a brutal sideways kick. The air explodes like splintering wood. The lioness is thrown back, tumbling through the grass. The breath ripped from her chest. The charge falters, but the pressure does not end. One final push, uncertain now. Claws flash, then hesitate. Reason overtakes instinct. One by one, the lions pull back, panting. Disappointment settles on their backs like dust. The injured lioness limps toward the shadows. Another follows close beside her, brushing whiskers in a quiet gesture of support. The pride retreats without sound, carrying the marks of failure. The hunt has been beaten by height and raw power. Paws drag through the dust. Every step is heavy with hunger, exhaustion, and the bitter taste of defeat. The wounded lioness stumbles, her legs give way, she collapses onto the dry earth, her breathing turns shallow, uneven. In that moment, the savannah seems to pause. An entire kingdom bears witness to the silent death of a queen. Her final breath escapes as a faint sigh, dissolving into the endless wind that sweeps the golden plains. Death announces itself quickly. Its scent rises like smoke carried on the air for scavengers to find. High above, dark shapes begin to appear. Vultures circle in slow spirals. Wings spread wide, eyes fixed on the tragedy below. Their harsh calls tear through the air, a hunger-driven summons that draws more shadows into the sky. Before long, the heavens darken. A storm of feathers and beaks descends without hesitation. The pride withdraws, unable to defend her body. Their roars are swallowed by the chaos of scavengers. From the trees, crows join the feast. Their sharp cries pierce the silence as they peck relentlessly at exposed remains. Flesh tears, bones crack, and the once powerful hunter is reduced to fragments beneath unforgiving beaks. Then the hyenas arrive, laughing with wild frenzy, jaws snapping, eyes blazing at the sight of effortless food. They drive off the vultures in a burst of violence, then sink their teeth into the carcass, ripping away chunks with savage force. Even among themselves, conflict erupts, growls, blood-spraying bites aimed not only at the dead but at one another. Dust rises, feathers scatter, and the savannah floor is stained red by the mark of endless struggle. The lions gather in silence. Their eyes burn. Grief hardens into blazing resolve. Hunger no longer guides them, only one purpose remains: reckoning for their fallen sister. The air grows heavy, dust swirling beneath their paws as if fate itself moves with them. Ahead stands the towering giraffe, the one whose deadly kick ended a precious life. Its long neck rises in defiance, unaware that it now faces not just hunters but vengeance. The lions fan out, encircling in silence. Their steps are whispers through tall grass. Muscles tighten beneath golden coats, tails twitch. Each heartbeat sets the rhythm of retribution. The giraffe senses danger. Ears flick, nostrils flare, but retreat is no longer possible. The lions close the circle around the tallest male near the group. Other giraffes lift their heads, nervously alerted by the faint rustle of grass betraying the predator's approach. Suddenly, a guttural roar shatters the air. The pride surges forward like an unstoppable wave of muscle, teeth, and claws. The ground trembles as the giraffes attempt to scatter. One massive male stands firm, planting his long legs, preparing lethal kicks. A single strike catches a young lioness, hurling her into the dust in a burst of pain. But the pride does not yield. They surround, feint retreat, then charge again, slowly draining the desperate strength of their prey. Lions leap at the flanks, claws carve deep grooves, blood stains the giant's pale hide. Dust mixes with the metallic scent of blood, forming a suffocating haze. The lions regroup and roar as one. Their combined voice rolls across the savannah like thunder from a breaking sky. The giraffe falters, legs tremble. Still pride burns in its eyes as the inevitable closes in. Blood gleams beneath the harsh sun as the pride feeds. Hunger is finally answered by nature's brutal balance. Above, vultures circle once more, shadows sliding across the land, waiting their turn. The lion's faces painted red roar in celebration of survival in a world shaped by constant struggle. Cubs emerge cautiously, tugging at small scraps, learning early the unforgiving lessons of a predator's life. The fallen giant lies still, its sacrifice ensuring the continuation of the lion's lineage on this plain. Here, nature offers no mercy, only the raw exchange of life and death that keeps the wild in motion. As the sun begins its descent, the savannah falls quiet, broken only by satisfied roars and distant echoes. The cycle of survival continues, relentless, eternal, shaping hunter and prey alike. Tomorrow will bring new battles, new losses, and the land will once again claim its due. The following morning, dawn opens slowly over Gorongosa. Silence carries the weight of the previous day's tragedy. Pale light touches the grass, illuminating a stage where life and death collided. A female giraffe appears. Her steps are uncertain. She searches desperately for the silhouette of her partner. Every movement trembles as if her heart already knows what her eyes refuse to accept. Then she stops. Before her lie scattered bones on the dry earth, remains of the one she once leaned on to endure. Her gaze fixes on a familiar leg bone, a pillar of shared life now irrevocably broken. Grief settles over her as heavy as the sky above a morning Savannah. Around her, vultures circle calmly, waiting for sorrow to surrender to their patient hunger. Even the land seems to remember the spilled blood and the cries lost to the night. The entire Savannah holds its breath, an eternal witness to a grief that has no voice. Wild Gorongosa stands as proof that nature never forgets how to fight. In a land reborn from ashes, life moves forward on a fragile balance, upheld by silent sacrifices and unavoidable confrontations. Here, survival is not a heroic act. It is a harsh routine repeated day after day. Beauty can be deceptive. Peaceful landscapes conceal chases, ambushes, and choices made in a single heartbeat. Every horizon in Gorongosa carries the shadow of conflict. Every breath may be a brief victory or the beginning of the end. Yet it is this very harshness that keeps the natural cycle alive. Constant struggle shapes species, strengthens the ecosystem, and reminds us that wildlife does not seek comfort, it seeks continuity. Gorongosa is more than a restored sanctuary. It is a testament that even after devastation, nature can rise again, as long as it is given the chance. If this story of resilience, survival, and rebirth moved you, subscribe to Beast Call Nature, like the video, and join us on more journeys into the heart of the wild, where every story is written with instinct, sacrifice, and real life. Across the untamed landscapes of Rwanda, wildlife moves to the relentless rhythm of hunger and thirst. Survival is never assured. Each sunrise brings a new trial, and every night carries the possibility of an ending. This land demands strength, intelligence, and constant adaptation because here there is no room for mistakes. When food grows scarce and water becomes a precious prize, instinct takes full command. Choices must be swift and exact, shaped by pressure and necessity. Only those able to read the land sense danger before it strikes and endure extreme conditions manage to persist. Weakness finds no shelter, and hesitation often leads to disappearance. In Rwanda, survival is not a single moment of struggle. It is a permanent state of being. This is not a world ruled by size alone, but by sharp minds and keen awareness. In a realm where nature offers no mercy, life must be earned with every breath. In the heart of East Africa, Rwanda concentrates an exceptional ecological diversity. Within just 26,338 square kilometers, its terrain rises from the savannas and wetlands of the east at around 1,300 meters above sea level to the 4,507 meters of Mount Karisimbi in the Virunga Range, creating sharp climatic and biological contrasts. In the Nyungwe montane forest, which covers more than 1,000 square kilometers, the humid rainforest sustains one of the highest concentrations of primates in Africa, while in the volcanic regions survive key populations of the mountain gorilla, a critically endangered subspecies. To the east, Akagera National Park, with more than 1,100 square kilometers of savanna and lakes, hosts large herbivores and predators as well as hundreds of bird species. In Rwanda, compact geography and extreme biodiversity intertwine, forming a natural laboratory where wildlife adapts to every meter of elevation and every shift in the landscape. The mountain gorilla, Gorilla Biringai. Biringai stands as one of the most iconic inhabitants of this ecosystem. Its entire global population survives in only two remote strongholds, the Virunga Mountains and the neighboring forests of Bwindi, making its existence as fragile as it is remarkable. Unlike its lowland relatives, the mountain gorilla is equipped with thick, elongated fur, an essential adaptation for enduring the cold, damp conditions of elevations ranging from 2,200 to 3,800 meters above sea level. This species' sheer physical presence is most striking in adult males whose powerful frames can reach weights of up to 180 kilograms and heights of nearly 1.7 meters when standing upright. In contrast to its formidable appearance, the mountain gorilla feeds almost exclusively on plants. Roughly 90% of its diet consists of leaves, stems, and wild fruits. Each individual consumes more than 30 kilograms of vegetation daily, a routine that not only sustains its massive body but also plays a vital ecological role by dispersing seeds and promoting forest renewal. At the heart of each group is a dominant male known as the silverback, named for the distinctive silver-gray patch that emerges on his back at around 12 years of age. He is the guardian and decision-maker of the group, responsible for leading movements, resolving internal tensions, and protecting the young. These close-knit communities typically include 8 to 15 members bound together through subtle vocalizations. Physical closeness and gentle gestures, social behaviors that reflect a surprising resemblance to our own. Deep within the mist-laden forest at the base of Mount Sabino, a gorilla group moves steadily along an ancient trail carved through dense stands of bamboo. At the front is Karibo, a dominant silverback of commanding presence. The silver sheen across his hips marks his maturity, while a faint scar beneath his left eye tells the story of a past confrontation. Suddenly he halts, draws in a deep breath, and releases a low, resonant call. The group answers with subdued vocalizations and intricate language understood only among closely bonded members. Without warning, an unsettling sound rises from the west, the heavy, rhythmic thud of chest beats striking the air. From a thick wall of bamboo steps another silverback, equal in size to Karibo but with shorter fur and a defiant stance. This is Anteco, a solitary male driven from his original group 3 years earlier, now returning to challenge the authority he once lost. Karibo responds with a deep roar, a clear signal of warning. He steps forward and pounds his chest, the sound echoing across the mountainside like a primal drum. The clash is brief but intense. After a violent exchange of shoves and force, Anteko is thrown to the ground. He rises slowly, releases one final growl, and disappears back into the vegetation. Karibo does not give chase. He remains standing, breathing heavily, muscles rigid, a fresh wound bleeding across his forehead. The conflict is over. No life is lost, but dominance has been decided. This is how balance is maintained in the wild, not through constant violence, but through rare, decisive encounters that reinforce social order. In the cloud forest, where nature alone holds authority, moments like these are uncommon. Yet when they occur, they reveal the raw strength, discipline, and quiet nobility of one of humanity's closest living relatives. High on an ancient branch, the forest begins to stir. The first sounds of morning ripple through the canopy as a troop of olive baboons emerges into view, signaling the start of another day in the treetops. A single troop may include anywhere from a few dozen to more than 100 individuals. Powerful adult males, vigilant females, and infants clinging tightly to their mothers. Within this living network lies a sophisticated social system shaped by long-term relationships and clearly defined hierarchies. Males and females each follow their own paths to status, governed by different but equally strict rule. Female baboons inherit their rank from their mothers, forming strong matrilineal lines that persist across generations. Males, by contrast, must earn their position through confrontation, testing rivals, and asserting themselves to climb the social ladder. Yet troop life is not ruled by conflict alone. Social bonding plays a vital role, and grooming is the glue that holds the group together. Females spend hours carefully grooming one another, not merely to remove parasites, but to reinforce alliances and build trust. These quiet rituals ease tension, stabilize relationships, and help preserve social harmony in a complex and ever-changing environment. Olive baboons are remarkably flexible feeders. As opportunistic omnivores, they consume fruits, seeds, leaves, insects, and even small animals. Their specialized cheek pouches allow them to store food temporarily, giving them a crucial advantage when resources are scarce or competition is high. Their bodies are equally well suited to life in the trees and on the ground. Long dog-like muzzles, powerful jaws, and sharp canine teeth enable them to process tough vegetation and defend themselves when threatened. Adult males larger and armed with more formidable canines tend to display greater aggression, especially during disputes over territory or rank. Despite their intricate social world, olive baboons are not isolated from their relatives. They sometimes interbreed with other baboon species such as yellow or Guinea baboons. These hybrid populations increase genetic diversity, an evolutionary asset that enhances resilience in a world defined by constant change. Heat waves shimmer across the plain as a leopard moves forward without a sound. Its golden coat melts into the dry grass until it becomes little more than a vanishing shadow. Every step is fluid, almost weightless. Sharp eyes scan the surroundings, alert to the faintest tremor, the smallest hint of movement. Then it freezes. Focus tightens. A young impala grazes nearby, head lowered, unaware that death is closing in with silent precision. The leopard presses flat against the ground. Muscles coil, breath quickens. Each heartbeat is measured, each second calculated. Then in an instant, speed explodes. The predator launches forward like an arrow slicing through the air as dust erupts beneath its paws. The savannah ignites into motion. One runs to feed, the other runs to live. Heartbeats and breathing collide in a blur of panic and pursuit. With a perfectly timed leap, the attack lands. Bodies collide, claws bite deep, and powerful jaws lock around the throat in a final, suffocating grip. The leopard crouches over its prey, panting heavily, teeth sunk into warm flesh, a victory earned through patience, stealth, and skill. But the moment is short-lived. African wild dogs appear on the horizon, moving fast, eyes blazing, drawn by the unmistakable scent of blood. Snarling in frustration, the leopard retreats at once, melting back into the tall grass with wounded pride intact. The dogs rush in without hesitation. Chaos erupts. They tear at the carcass, snapping and jostling over the spoils of a stolen hunt. Dust fills the air, blood stains the earth, and the sounds of the frenzy echo across the savannah like a raw anthem of survival. As dusk settles over the rolling hills of Rwanda, silence slowly returns. The land exhales heavy with memories of struggle, loss, and battles already fought. Here, survival means endurance, strength carried quietly into an uncertain tomorrow. The hills stand as silent witnesses to countless unseen conflicts etched forever into the living heart of the wild. Beyond the silent mastery of the leopard, another ruler dominates the forests and open savannas of the Victoria Basin. The African lion stands at the top of the food chain, an apex predator, whose thunderous roar can travel up to 8 kilometers across the land. It is a warning etched into the air itself: this territory is claimed. The evolutionary story of the African lion stretches back more than 2 million years, descending from ancient great cats that once roamed the continent long before modern ecosystems took shape. Today, lions are unique among big cats for their highly social way of life. Living in tightly bonded groups dramatically improves their success in hunting and defending territory. A pride typically consists of a dominant male, several closely related females, and their offspring. Cooperation is the foundation of their survival. While the lionesses carry out most of the hunts with precision and coordination, the dominant male serves as the guardian, patrolling boundaries and driving away rivals eager to steal hard-won prey. Adult males are easily recognized by their thick mane, which frames the head and neck like a natural shield during combat. This mane is more than protection, it is also a signal. Research suggests that males with longer, darker manes are more attractive to females and are challenged less frequently by competitors. Those with lighter or shorter manes face more confrontations, revealing an intense biological contest in which only the strongest secure the right to pass on their genes. The African lion's eyes are finely tuned for life at dusk and after dark, allowing them to see up to 6 times better than humans in low-light conditions. This exceptional night vision, paired with powerful muscles and coordinated group tactics, makes the lion a formidable hunter. Their paw structure, raised heels, and soft pads enables them to move with surprising slowness before unleashing the final charge. Although not the fastest of the big cats, reaching speeds of around 80 kilometers per hour, slower than the cheetah, the lion compensates with explosive strength. In a single leap, it can cover distances of up to 11 meters, closing the gap in a heartbeat. Hunting is led primarily by lionesses who fan out and surround their target, using terrain shadows and teamwork to their advantage. In Akagera National Park, their most frequent prey includes zebras, antelopes, and other large herbivores. Once a hunt is successful, feeding follows a strict hierarchy. The dominant male eats first, then the lionesses, and finally the younger members of the pride. Lions, however, are not always the ones who make the kill. When they encounter a cheetah or leopard with fresh prey, they rarely hesitate. With sheer size and authority, they assert dominance and claim the reward, reinforcing their status as undisputed rulers of the savannah. At times, lions face intense pressure from one of their most persistent rivals, hyenas. Ever watchful and highly opportunistic, they are always ready to seize a meal the moment an opening appears. The spotted hyena belongs to an ancient lineage that stretches back more than 10 million years, once ranging across Africa, Asia, and parts of Europe. Today, its stronghold lies mainly in sub-Saharan Africa, with an estimated population of tens of thousands spread across open plains and woodlands. As the largest living member of the hyena family, which also includes the striped hyena brown hyena and the aardwolf, the spotted hyena stands out for both physical power and social complexity. These animals live in large clans that may number from a few dozen to nearly 80 individuals. Their societies are governed by a strict matriarchal system, where high-ranking females dominate access to food space and authority, shaping the structure of the entire group. Despite long-standing myths, spotted hyenas are among the most intelligent mammals on the African continent. Their communication system is remarkably advanced, consisting of more than a dozen distinct vocalizations. The well-known laugh is only one signal in a rich acoustic language used to express excitement, submission, warning, or social rank. Hyenas can remember intricate social relationships and adjust their behavior strategically to preserve stability within the clan. As dusk settles over the savannah, glowing eyes and echoing calls announce their presence. Hyenas rarely rush into conflict. Instead, they observe carefully, tracking every movement of a lion pride from a distance. They wait for signs of fatigue, injury, or isolation, fully aware that a single adult lion armed with immense strength and sharp claws can be deadly in close combat. Their advantage lies in unity and coordination. Spotted hyenas never fight alone. They rely on numbers, precision, and relentless pressure, probing attacks followed by quick retreats that slowly wear down even the strongest opponents. Their jaws are among the most powerful tools in the animal kingdom. A compact skull and massive jaw muscles generate an extraordinary bite force capable of exerting pressure strong enough to crush dense bone with ease. This strength allows hyenas to consume nearly every part of a carcass. Bones, skin, tendons, and horns are all broken down efficiently, with marrow providing a vital source of energy. A single feeding can involve several kilograms of meat, and their digestive system is so effective that little goes to waste. Equally impressive is their stomach chemistry. Possessing some of the most acidic digestive fluids known among mammals, spotted hyenas can safely process carrion that other predators avoid. By removing remains and decaying matter from the landscape, they play a crucial ecological role, limiting the spread of disease and recycling nutrients back into the environment. In the silent balance of the African wild, the hyena is not merely a scavenger, but an essential architect of order. Across the dry plains of Rwanda, Thompson's gazelles appear as small but determined champions of the wild. Lightly built and elegant, weighing little more than 15 to 35 kilograms, they skim across the sun-bleached grasslands like arrows carried by the wind. Their long, muscular legs are finely tuned by evolution for one purpose above all others: speed. It is their greatest defense. The pale brown coat, marked by dark side stripes, blends seamlessly with the dusty terrain, offering a final layer of camouflage against danger. Yet during the harsh, dry season, when water becomes scarce and every remaining pool turns into contested ground, these advantages are often not enough. The drought strips the savannah of comfort and certainty. As rivers shrink and ponds vanish, animals of every kind, predators and prey alike, are drawn toward the same few lifelines, transforming them into zones of constant tension. For Thompson's gazelles, approaching water is a calculated gamble. A small herd, perhaps 20 strong, edges toward a shrinking watering hole. The led female steps forward carefully, ears high and alert, scanning for movement. The rest cluster close behind her, muscles coiled, ready to scatter at the first hint of danger. No matter how vigilant they are, water always carries risk. Hidden within nearby brush, a lioness waits in silence. Her amber eyes track the herd with calm precision. She may never outrun a gazelle in open ground, but her true strengths lie elsewhere in patience, power, and flawless timing. As the pride's primary hunters, lionesses move with deliberate coordination. They slip through dry vegetation, bodies low, every muscle drawn tight like a loaded spring. When the moment is right, one of them erupts forward in a sudden burst of force. In an instant, survival hinges on the gazelle's greatest gift. The herd explodes outward in a blur of motion, scattering in all directions to confuse the attacker. This is not blind panic, but a contest of reflex and awareness. Capable of reaching speeds near 80 kilometers per hour, the gazelles twist and veer unpredictably, pushing their agility to the limit. Even so, the lioness presses on, relentless, knowing that in the savannah, hesitation is often the difference between escape and silence. Her focus locks onto a young gazelle still unable to match the speed and endurance of the adults. The juvenile runs on pure instinct, legs pumping frantically as the scorching heat drains its strength. Step by step, the lioness closes the gap, her strides powerful and controlled. One final perfectly timed leap ends the chase. Claws grip, a precise bite follows, and the desperate flight comes to an abrupt end. For the lioness, success means far more than a meal. It is survival itself. On this unforgiving savannah, every hunt is a gamble, and failure can condemn her to days of hunger beneath the relentless sun. As she pauses to recover after the kill, the rest of the Thompson's gazelles are already gone, their forms fading into the distant haze. They do not linger to mourn, they watch, remember, and adapt. Here, there is no room for grief, only for lessons that ensure life continues. Each gazelle runs not just for its own survival, but for the future of the herd. In their swift escape lies the promise of another sunrise and the quiet determination to endure one more day in the wild. In eastern Rwanda, where vast golden plains stretch toward the horizon and inland lakes mirror the sun, Akagera stands as one of the most inspiring examples of ecological recovery in modern Africa. For more than a decade after the genocide, the park was left nearly empty of wildlife, its natural balance pushed to the brink of collapse. Large mammals vanished, trees were cut down. Forests were burned and open grasslands were converted into farmland, mainly for cassava cultivation. The ecosystem seemed all but erased, but in 2010, Rwanda chose a new direction. Today, Akagera's savanna is alive again, pulsing with the rhythm of hooves, the whisper of wind through tall growth, and the silent presence of predators reclaiming their ancient roles. Moving through vegetation that rises to waist height, a herd of more than 100 animals advances in perfect synchrony, forming living waves across the plain. The blue wildebeest, one of the most iconic migratory species of East Africa, dominates this scene. With a stocky build, raised shoulders, and curved horns sweeping outward, it is built for endurance and speed, capable of surging past 60 kilometers per hour as it navigates the vast savanna. Yet for all its strength and endurance, the wildebeest has a critical weakness. It struggles to change direction quickly over short distances. That flaw makes it vulnerable to one of the savanna's most efficient solo hunters, the cheetah. Hidden in a shallow dip carpeted with short grass, the cat presses its body flat against the ground, eyes locked on a single target. Its form is the result of extreme specialization. A slim frame, elongated limbs, a whip-flexible spine, and a deep chest built to flood the muscles with oxygen. When it comes to acceleration, nothing on land can match it. The strike unfolds in a heartbeat. The cheetah explodes forward, lungs burning as its body releases an enormous burst of energy. This speed comes at a cost. It can sustain its top pace for barely 30 seconds before overheating becomes life-threatening. Once the prey is brought down, the cheetah drags it into the shade and pauses, scanning the surroundings not so much for lions, but for ever-watchful opportunists, hyenas, and other scavengers drawn by the scent of fresh blood. This is its first meal in 4 days, and its only chance to regain the strength needed to feed 2 cubs hidden beneath a bush nearly a kilometer away. If you find our documentaries informative and engaging, support our work by liking the video and subscribing. Your support helps us continue bringing you high-quality stories from the wild. In Rwanda, the pulse of Africa beats with raw intensity, reminding every creature what it truly means to be alive. The cheetah's coat, patterned with dark spots, acts as a natural shield, perfect camouflage against ever-watchful prey. From its sharp eyes run bold black streaks that cut glare and sharpen focus, preparing the hunter for what comes next. But thirst binds all life to water, turning riverbanks into dangerous illusions of safety. The hunters shift their attention. This time they choose water buck, larger, slower, and worth the risk. Sensing danger, the herd quickens its pace. The cheetah follows with calm precision, silent and calculating. One perfectly timed leap shatters the stillness. Claws find their mark, jaws close. The end comes swiftly without excess, in accordance with the uncompromising rules of the Savannah, where predator and prey each fulfill their role. The hunters pant, chests heaving, yet pride flickers in their eyes. They have endured. Their story is etched into the dust of the morning. The reward is shared, sharp teeth tearing into flesh as the feast echoes across the plain, a harsh anthem of necessity. Every movement carries tension. Silence stretches over the savannah like an invisible wire. Muscles burn, but the cheetah's explosive speed leaves no room for escape. The chase lasts only seconds. The predator moves with flawless precision. Instinct, courage, and endurance intertwine within the fragile bond between mother and cubs. On Rwanda's grasslands, life and death walk side by side, and each dawn rewrites the struggle to exist. Below, wild dogs leap and snap at the air, hurling themselves upward, but gravity denies them the prize. Perched on a fragile branch, a leopard trembles, chest-pounding eyes locked on the chaos swirling below. This moment reveals an ancient truth. Sometimes escape is a victory. Other times survival means letting go. In the African wild, to live is to adapt to every moment and trust the instincts shaped by countless generations. Rwanda is a land where hunger and thirst shape every decision. Here, nature offers no second chances. Only those with the strength to endure and the intelligence to adapt remain standing. Weakness finds no shelter, and hesitation becomes a verdict. In this unforgiving world, each day is an extreme trial. Bodies are pushed to exhaustion, instincts grow sharper, and the struggle for a single drink of water or a single bite of food can determine fate. There are no heroes and no villains, only creatures driven to their limits by an environment that demands everything and sometimes more than life can give. These stories of survival are not just accounts of hardship. They are powerful reminders of the fragile balance that sustains wildlife. To protect these ecosystems is to protect the chance for life to continue even in its most extreme forms. Because when nature loses, the silence left behind cannot be undone. If this journey into the raw reality of Rwanda has moved you, subscribe to Beast Call Nature and join us as we continue to explore, understand, and defend the wild world. Every subscription helps ensure these stories are still told.